I am so excited about this episode of Building Wealth. I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve, okay? And I have been good all season. I am speaking with Pastor Marquise Robinson and First Lady Jonte Robinson from Auburn, Washington. Their biggest obstacle to building wealth are two things that plague many of us. One is debt, and two is a strategy. But we're gonna fix that today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited that you all are here. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I don't know. Who wants to start?
You can start. Go ahead.
All right. So we are needing some help because we want to do a better job with planning our retirement. As you already stated, my husband is a pastor and he is a full-time pastor. And I am currently a full-time employee. I'm a chief diversity officer, as well as a licensed life insurance producer. And we want to get to a place where he can be a full-time pastor, I can run my businesses, and not have to worry about money.
Yes, yes. Okay, I got you. Well, the first thing I want to say to you both is congratulations on your blended family. I'm so excited about not only the strategy that you're going to put in place, but the legacy that you are going to create for them to follow. The first thing that I look at when I look at your profile, congratulations, you are in the black, you are not in the red, but you've got debt every single month that you are, paying, because guess what? We have to live and we've got expenses and so on and so forth. So one of the first things that we do when we're talking about spending less money, the first 10% of every dollar you get, you tithe. The next 10% you save. You know my theory, 30% is cash in your pocket and the remaining is 50% of your checking account for your bills. Once you pay your bills, then you've got extra money left over. If you've got extra money left over, or if you are creating additional income from your insurance producing, from any other side hustles, from your home-based business, now you want to eliminate debt. Because the amount of debt that you're paying every month, and praise God you're paying it, you're doing well. The amount of debt that you're paying every month is basically robbing you of your wealth. So the reason why we eliminate debt is because debt is the middleman between us and our vision. Debt is the middleman between us and our wealth. Debt allows other people to build wealth off of our work. So what we want to do now is take your work so that you can take the money that you're spending on debt and actually make it work for you, because money will work harder for you than you could ever work for it. That is so important to understand. It will work harder than a 9-to-5 job. It will work harder than trying to have 50,000 side hustles. It will work harder for you. So let me just give you an example. I've run some numbers. One of the things we want to do is we want to make sure we take a look at your 401k. And if you've got income from self-employment, you also want to, Pastor Marquise, you want to set up a solo 401k. So, Jonte, you want to set up your 401k at your job like you may already have going, but you also want to do a solo 401k as an independent business owner. And the reason is you now get to contribute up to $64,500 a year towards that solo 401k. You don't have to do all of it, but that money is now going to be a tax benefit to you. You won't pay taxes on that, because I'm looking at, you all have a very respectable income here. So I know you're paying a lot in taxes. We want to get that money back. But now putting that money to the side, instead of applying it to debt, you're going to be able to now make that money grow. Let me give you some numbers that I ran. And these are very conservative numbers. So you've probably taken How to Invest in the Stock Market with finance professor Erica Blair in New Wealth University. And if you haven't already, then you will, because we'll make sure that you get that strategy. But once you learn how to pick the right funds in your 401k, or the right funds in your solo 401k, or the right funds in your mutual fund, all right, you want to pick funds that outperform the S&P 500. You want to pick a large cap fund. You want to pick a mid cap fund. You want to pick a small cap fund, and you want to choose an international fund that also includes U.S. funds. Okay, so that's really important. If it's an international fund, it needs to also include U.S. companies. Once you pick these particular funds and you diversify, you put a portion into each fund every single month. That $6,000 that you're now spending out in 10 years, and this is just staying with the S&P 500, that money will be $1.2 million in 10 years. It won't even double in 20 years. It will do more than that. It will almost quadruple. It will be $4.5 million in 20 years, and it'll be $13 million in 30 years. Now let's think about, I know home ownership is a part of our strategy as well. It takes most people 30 years to pay off a mortgage if they stay there that long. Well, in 30 years, you'll have $13,562 saved for retirement just from the money that God has blessed you with today. I'm not talking about some new money. I'm not talking about some money that you got to, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or a sugar daddy or sugar mama that we got to get, or a winning lottery ticket. I'm talking about the money that you have right now that you are already allocating. This can now be in your pot, building your legacy. Now, that's just if it's outperforming the S&P 500. But if you pay attention to your money, because money says, if you respect me, I will work for you. If you pay attention to me, I will do what you tell me to do. Most of us live lives feeling as if money controls us and we don't have any control over it. But money actually says, if you learn me and if you honor basic mathematics and spend less than you have and allow me to grow, then I will work for you. So many people earned great returns during the pandemic. I always say, coming out of this pandemic, you will either be a millionaire, a billionaire, or a witness. Well, I'm telling you, you all are so close to creating $1 million legacy for yourselves and your family right now with the money that you make right now. I earned 83% on my investments, I think, in 2021. I'm not even going to take you as high as 83% because that's not realistic to expect over time. The numbers that I just gave you, if you were paying attention to your funds, and if you were looking at the stock market and on building wealth, we're going to provide opportunities for you to know what the next investment is. We're talking about everything from mutual funds and ETFs and so on and so forth. And you picking the right package for yourself. If you're earning 20%, now I said at 10%, it was $1.2 million. This is the same money you're spending today. I'm not talking about any extra money. This is what you have, the power that is vested in you right now. In 10 years, that's 2.2 million. In 20 years, it's 18 million. And in 30 years, it's $137 million. It's called the law of recognition, and it's called the law of reaping. When you make a decision to put your dollars in the law of reaping, which means every dollar you put in, it's going to come back to you tenfold, and it's built off the principle of compound interest, then you can truly create an empire. I've often wondered why during my career, and I'm pretty sure in your life, and Jante, you are a chief diversity officer, and we see other cultures and they look like they just got a little more swag than we got. I mean, they just look comfortable. They look as if they don't have any cares. It's because they've been applying these principles for generations. For generations. So if you were to take half of the debt that you're paying right now and apply this principle, you'd even still be able to see more of a return. So with that, how to make your money grow, how to build this beautiful nest egg for retirement, it's closer to most of us than we think.